Welcome back. Last week I talked about different things that you could be working on with your dog if you're currently working from home. And it reminded me of a video that my friend Jody sent me a few weeks ago of her and her dog Scout. So Jody has a spot that she works from home at all the time, and she finds often, if she's been working for a while, that Scout will jump up next to her, and as she's trying to work at her keyboard, he will use his paw to demand affection from her. This is actually a behavior that I've seen a lot of videos of, and some people think it's really cute and they don't mind it. And if that's you, that's totally fine. This just isn't a video for you. If you are one of those people who is experiencing this with your dog and you're just kind of annoyed by it and getting tired of it and trying to figure out how to stop it, then this video is for you. So I'm going to talk about how to kind of interpret the behavior and then some ideas and things to do, as well as other behaviors to look for in order to curb the behavior and eventually just stop it entirely. Let's check it out.
Okay, Randy, so I would love for you to decode this behavior for me. He has been outside. He's had his breakfast. He has an open door to go back outside, but he wants to sit here with me while I'm working, and every time I try to work, he tries to put his paw on me and take my hand off the keyboard. So I just keep telling him to get down when he does this and to go lay down when he does it. But if he gets close to me while I'm working, this is what he does.
First, I love that Jody explains that Scout has all of his needs met as far as already having been outside, a dog door to go back outside, and basically no other explanation than, in her mind, him not wanting her to work, and that's why he's doing this kind of hand grabbing thing. And I also love that Jody's on the right track with telling him no, to get down and to make him go lay down, but that anytime he gets close to her, that's when he does this behavior. So here's one thing where I talk about in the blog post specifically, looking at all of your dog's behaviors. So it's very likely that this isn't the only place in Jody and Scout's relationship that Scout is kind of doing little subtle things that are just, quite frankly, disrespectful. And I don't want to get into the whole like alpha, omega, and like dominance and all of that thing, but truly, if you think about a pack of dogs together, and if there were followers and leaders in that pack, I can guarantee you a follower dog would never go up to a leader dog and display this kind of behavior without there being some sort of repercussion, or the dog just not ever doing it at all. And so I really want you to think about kind of the dynamic that you have with your dog and how much they really respect you in all areas of your relationship, not just this, and then how it's displayed throughout various behaviors, whether it's running you over when you go outside, or demanding their attention, jumping on you, dogs who crawl all over people who are sitting on the floor, things like that really give an insight to who's kind of running the show. Now, that might not seem like a big deal, but then let's take it out on the street. And now you're wondering why your dog is barking and lunging at other dogs and they're dragging you, and it's just complete chaos, and you're frustrated, and then you're reaching out to me wondering how you stop that behavior. And the whole point is that it really starts on a much smaller level and really just establishing who is in control. Okay, so again, being in control. I'm saying that in the sense that when you're outside, your dog no longer has to feel like they have to control the environment and they have to be the ones to protect you. Think of it as them like seeing another dog and thinking, oh, I got you, mom, like don't worry, I'm gonna take care of this. We really don't want that. We want them to be able to just enjoy their walk and know that you've got things under control. And that's where it really starts in the house. So the first thing I want Jody to work on is telling Scout when he does that, and then removing him, like gently pulling him off of the couch or wherever. Some dogs just a firm snap of the finger and pointing and the command off. That's going to be the first step in this. You're going to remove your dog from being next to you and even being able to access you and do this behavior. The second part is teaching that place command. If I haven't told you a million times how important this command is, then I haven't told you enough. It's just so crucial in telling your dog, this is what I want from you while I'm working. So if Jody knows that Scout's been outside, he's been fed, that he can go back outside, and there's really no explanation to this behavior, it is okay for her to say, no, while I'm working, here's your bed. You are more than welcome to sit with me in the office, but you have to stay in your bed. And consistency is key here. You're gonna want to keep putting him back in that bed and him not getting up until he's actually released. Now that might be that after 10 or 15 minutes, if you want your dog to be able to go back outside or whatever, that you give them an okay and maybe take them outside and then go back in. But if they have a dog door and they come back inside, they're expected to go right back to their bed and just stay there. So really the key is not allowing them to be up next to you and kind of on that level to begin with. That being said, your dog is more than welcome to be invited onto furniture. The key word in that sentence was invited on. And so each dog is different. Some dogs are more respectful, and some dogs might need just no furniture at all for a while until they can learn to be more respectful. For example, none of our dogs are actually allowed on the furniture, and each foster dog is taught that too. And so Rooster, sometimes he will even come over and beg, where he'll lay his little chin on the couch and kind of wait for you to give him the okay, but we actually make him go back to his bed and then wait a little bit until he's not begging to then be invited. And what this does is, again, set the tone for who gets to determine what gets done when, and it alleviates those dominant displaying behaviors like your dog grabbing you and your hand. Let's get back to the video. So you can see in the beginning where Scout is a little more gentle about it, and then he actually gets distracted when she starts talking to the camera, but then goes right back to it and gets pretty forceful with it. And I know for Jody, she's on the right track with telling Scout to get down and go lay back down, but I really want her to just take a step back and start by setting the precedent from the get-go. So when she's in her office, Scout should have his own bed, and she should be asking him to lay on that bed at all times until she is ready for one of her breaks or Scout's walk or when he gets his breakfast, anything that sticks to a regular schedule, but otherwise he can be expected to just stay in his bed. I hope this helps you as well as Jody, and really just keep practicing a lot of those things that I discussed in the last video, such as the place command, and also be thinking ahead of when you're going to be going back to work. If you have a dog that once had separation anxiety or really struggles with it, you really need to be thinking of how you are going to slowly transition them back into your normal schedule. This may include trying to keep somewhat of a normal schedule right now, where you leave the house regularly as far as like a walk in your neighborhood. We're still trying to practice social distancing, or even making your dog stay in their crate while you're in another room working, and just really trying to keep their life as normal as possible, because it's going to be really tough for them when you go back to work full time and they have to start with a whole new routine again. If there are any other behaviors that you're starting to see as you stay home with your pup, please feel free to send them to me at nonstopdogtalk@gmail.com or put them in the comments below so we can talk more about how to set your dog up for success while you're working from home and when you transition back to your workplace. Until next time, enjoy your pup and have a great week.